In this episode of Film Stock Reviews, I'm reviewing Black Widow. Now, Black Widow is set after the events of Captain America Civil War, where we see Natasha on the run and she's forced to somehow confront her past. It stars Scarlett Johansson and Florence Pugh and David Arbor and Rachel Weisz, as well as Ray Winstone, and Olga Kurylenko. Now, this was very interesting because when Black Widow was introduced, the character of Natasha in Iron Man 2, it's like, okay, for so long people wanted her to have her own movie. Well, we got that. It was actually supposed to come out in May of 2020, but with the pandemic, it got pushed back, and it came out simultaneously on July 9th, 2021, in theaters and on Disney Plus, with Disney Plus Premier Access. Now, the interesting thing about this when the movie came out is that Scarlett Johansson filed a lawsuit against Disney over the simultaneous release dates about the money issues and stuff like that. And 2 months later, after she won out of the suit, so she got paid, and hey, good for her. Now, the story, very different, very interesting. I was very hesitant. I wasn't, I didn't have high hopes for this movie, but after seeing it, and after putting it on the back burner for a really, really long time, I really enjoyed this a lot. The action was good, the story was good, and the dynamic that Scarlett Johansson and Florence Pugh have together as sisters in this movie is really, really fun to watch. The action scenes are great. They're in your face. They're just crazy and fun, and it's really good that certain aspects of we understand what happened in Budapest, what happened with all these characters, what the Black Widow is. And I feel like this is another Marvel movie where the villain, in a way, as Dreykov, is really underutilized. Marvel is not really known for using their villains really, really well, unless it's a big villain like Thanos. Now, Dreykov is basically a Russian general and the head of the Red Room. Basically, the Red Room is where they train these young girls from when they're younger to as they're older to become assassins, called the Black Widows. Now, it's really interesting. The only way they can come out of it is this nerve agent gas, or this gas that changes their mind of everything. The build up and lead up to the ending was good. It had that reminiscence of Captain America Winter Soldier with the hovercraft fight on the scene, and somehow the Red Room is in the sky. Doesn't really explain how it's being in the sky, but maybe it does. Other than that, it was a really, really interesting movie, and like I said, in the events of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, this started off Phase 4 in a way. Supposedly, movie-wise, it started off Phase 4, but WandaVision actually is the so-called show, or the movie, if you want to say, that actually did start Phase 4. Phase 4 is really big for Marvel so far, and it's really interesting. This is the 24th film in the MCU, in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and I absolutely enjoyed it. I mean, like I said, once she was introduced in Iron Man 2, there were talks about giving her a movie right away, but it's good that they waited for a few years just to get everything right, and it worked. I'm curious to see if we're going to see some of these characters like David Arbor's Red Guardian, Rachel Weisz, in other future movies. We've already seen Florence Pugh as Yelena in Hawkeye. The ending of this really actually goes right into Hawkeye, so it's nothing confusing at all. And I mean, the only thing I didn't like, well, like I said, was the villain. The villain was underutilized, didn't make sense, and Taskmaster was a disappointment in a way. And I understand they changed it from the comic books for this movie. They should have just left it the way it was, and it would have been really fun to see how a Taskmaster could have been better utilized in the MCU. And William Hurt is in this as Thaddeus Ross, and General Ross, if you didn't know, and he's going after Black Widow, or Natasha, because of the Sokovia Accords and the event. If you've seen the movies, you know how the storyline plays out. Like I said, but we got this movie finally, and it happened, and it was good. It was really, really good. And not great, but it had its moments, and the lull aspect of the emotional scenes between the family dynamic was different, and you could see Natasha and Yelena trying to do that sisterly bond, and it was really, really fun to see. For me, Black Widow gets 4 out of 5 stars. Let me know in the comment section below what you thought about this movie, and did you like that she finally got her own movie? Do you think that it should have been done sooner after Iron Man 2, where her character was introduced? And what do you see happening now with the Black Widow character? Of course, we know what happened to Natasha, but now with the multiverse, anything's possible. So who knows what's going to happen. Let me know what your favorite scene was, what your least favorite scene was. What did you think of the villain Dreykov? Did you like him? Did you not like him? Do you think Taskmaster could have been used a little bit better than what we know of in the comic books? Let me know in the comment section below about the questions I just asked, and I'll see you guys in the next review video.